And we're going to focus on some hip opening and also some upper back and heart opening. And then we're going to do some pranayama breathing towards the end of the practice. So we're going to begin a little bit different today. I'd like you to lay down onto your back on the mat with your knees bent and your feet together. And just come into a butterfly pose. So you're laying down and just relaxing into the mat with your hands face down beside you. If you need to support your knees at all, you can put a blanket or a cushion just underneath your knees just to support the hip opening if it feels a little bit strong for you. As you're coming into the space and leaving behind the busyness of your day and your morning, feeling the ground underneath your back and underneath your heels, I invite you to close your eyes, noticing your natural breath, taking in a big breath and then breathing out a big breath. Breathing in and breathing out. Noticing how your body is feeling today. If you're noticing any twinges, exhaling into those places and let it go. And noticing how your mind is. If you have any distractions, acknowledge them and let them go. While you're laying in your butterfly position, we're going to introduce a Ujjayi breath. So Ujjayi is a way of extending your breathing, which is part of a relaxing part of yoga. As you're laying on the floor, bring one hand up towards your mouth and imagine like you're blowing into a mirror and feeling the heat come against your hand and noticing if it was a mirror, how it would fog. When you breathe into a Ujjayi, you notice that on the exhalation, there's a little bit of vibration in the back of your throat, and it sounds a little bit like the sound of the ocean. So continue with the Ujjayi breath for 10 breaths. So breathing in and then breathing out. Relaxing your body as you're in the Ujjayi breathing, extending your exhalations. As you're doing this, noticing how your spine is being supported by the floor. Noticing the hip opening. And feeling grounded and more relaxed with your Ujjayi breath. During your practice today, it's important that you take care of yourself and only doing what feels right for you. At any time, if it feels uncomfortable, please relax into child's pose or into Savasana when you need to. What you do for yourself today in your yoga practice is part of taking care of you and taking care of your family and your community and raising the positive vibrations for us all. Enjoy your practice today. Coming into a seated position. And then onto all fours. Just checking that everybody can hear me. You give me the thumbs up. Good. Okay. So coming into all fours, and try and bring your Ujjayi breath with you as you go throughout your practice. So on your exhalation, feeling that vibration and the sound of the ocean. Our first sequence, we're going to go into a child's pose. So as we exhale, bringing your buttocks back to your heels and relaxing here for 5 breaths. Feeling the stretch of your lower back and your upper back. And on your next inhalation, coming back into the neutral position, inhaling, lifting your chest and lifting your gaze, and exhaling back into the child's pose and holding that there for a few breaths. And coming back into all fours, lifting your chest, lifting your gaze, and then exhaling back into child's pose. Allowing your forehead to release down into your mat. And coming back up into all fours. In our next sequence, we're going to go into a goose pose. So we're going to alternate between child's pose and lifting our legs. I'll just go into a side position so you can see. So we're going to exhale into child's pose. And as we inhale, coming up and raising our left leg, having a nice steady back and hips. And then exhale back into child's pose. And inhaling up as you lift that left leg. Continuing on for another 5 breaths. Inhaling and really lengthening out through that foot. And then we're going to go to the other side. Exhaling into child's pose. And on inhaling, lifting the chest and your gaze and raising the right leg, extending out through the foot. And exhaling back down into child's pose. Continuing on for 5 more breaths on the right side. Keeping your hips even and your elbows nice and soft. And on the next exhalation, coming into child's pose and resting there for 3 long breaths. And as you inhale, coming up to all fours. And we're going to extend the goose pose to alternate arms and legs. So on our inhalation, we're going to lift left hand, right leg, and extend. And exhale, bringing that down and moving to the other side. Inhaling and extending and exhaling. Keeping the hips nice and even and the shoulders and elbows nice and soft. And resting back into child's pose. Bring the buttocks down to your heels and bringing your forehead down towards the mat. And resting for 5 breaths. And coming up on your next inhalation, and we're going to do a downward dog sequence. So we're going to start on all fours. As we exhale, we're going to go down into a child's pose. Inhale, raising our chest, tucking the toes under, and extending our legs up into the downward dog. This is our first downward dog for the practice. Taking a few breaths here. Just bringing your heels down towards the ground and a nice stretch through your legs and your upper back. And then bending your knees and coming back down to all fours. Exhaling to the child's pose. Inhaling, lifting the chest, tucking your toes and up into downward dog. Inhaling, bending your knees back to all fours and exhale to child's pose. So continuing this sequence for 3 more rounds at your own pace, wrapping your breath around the movement, just taking your time. There's no rush. And returning back to the seated position on the mat. Bringing your hands to heart center. Can you all still hear me? Thumbs up, good, okay. So we're going to come up into a standing position. Into Samasthiti. And we're going to lift our arms and our heels into a mountain pose. So inhaling, bringing our arms up and bringing our heels up. And exhaling, coming back down. Spreading your toes out on your mat, feeling very grounded, and finding a gazing point just in front of your mat. And continue on. Lifting your heels and coming into a nice balanced position, stretching out your whole body. Lifting your chest. And exhaling as you come back down. Let's do 5 more rounds. With your own breath, just taking your time. Okay. And bring your hands back to heart center. Noticing how you're feeling. Just giving your body a little bit of movement, moving your hips around. Okay. We're going to go into a sequence of chair pose next. So having your feet hip width apart. And as we start with our hands at heart center. And we're going to inhale and we're going to bend our knees and bring our arms out to a cactus position, squeezing behind our shoulder blades. And inhale, coming back in. Sprawling your legs up, continuing on. Lifting your chest and bending your knees a little further if you can, just going to side on. On your next inhalation, coming into the chair pose a little lower and holding it here, bringing your hands back to heart center, holding it in this position. For 3 more breaths. It's really strengthening through your quads. And inhale, coming back up, giving your legs a shake. Taking our feet out a little wider. And this time we're going to go a little deeper. And we're going to come down to a frog pose. So inhale and then exhale, coming down nice and deep. Bringing your hands to the floor or to your legs. You can bring your hands to prayer position and gently have your elbows against your knees, just really giving that a little bit more stretch in the inner thigh. If this is uncomfortable, you can come up a little bit. We're going to go for 3, 2, and 1 there. And coming up, giving that a little stretch. Okay. Next one we're going to go into is a little bit of side stretching. So we're going to come to the back of our mat. We're going to inhale and raise our arms up. And exhale, taking our arms to the side. And to the other side. Let's continue on here for 3 rounds on each side. Just wrapping your breath around the movement, exhaling as you go to the side and inhaling up to the center. On our next exhalation, we're going to hold it there for a couple of breaths, lifting our chest and feeling that stretch through the side. And then back to the center. And then exhale to the other side. And feeling that stretch right up through your organs. And we're going to inhale, lifting our arms up, and exhale, folding forward, and we're going to hold it there for a couple of breaths. Feeling that nice stretch through the lower back. And let's hold it for 3 more breaths here. Just letting your neck drop down and your head drop. Feeling that lovely stretch through your hamstrings and lower back and upper back. And inhale, coming all the way back up again. Everybody still with me? Everyone okay? Good. Okay. Coming to the back of your mat, we're going to do a warrior 1 sequence. So we're going to step our right foot to the side and take our left foot forward. As we inhale, we're going to bend the front leg and bring our arms up. And then exhale, straightening out the leg and bringing the arms back down. For the next 3 rounds, we're going to do a cactus arms. Bring our arms up into cactus and squeezing. And last round. And coming back to heart center. Then we're going to inhale and bring our arms all the way up. And exhale, folding forward. Bring your left hand against your foot. And take your right hand up into the air to a triangle pose. Looking up at your right hand. And opening up through the chest and feeling that nice stretch. I'm going to stay here for 2 more breaths. And then bringing your hand back, one hand either side of your foot. Inhale, come all the way back up. Hands to heart center and stepping back. Giving a flexible shape. And then we're going to go to the other side. So taking your left foot out to the side and right foot forward. We're going to inhale, bending that through that front knee, lifting our legs up. Nice slow movements, feeling that hip opening. And 3 rounds using cactus arms and squeezing through the top of our shoulder blades. And on the next inhalation, bring your arms all the way up and folding forward and bring your right hand next to your right leg and looking up to your left hand, opening through your chest. And we're going to hold it here for 3 breaths and feeling that nice stretch through the body. If this is a little low, you can come up a little higher as well. One more breath here, and then bringing your hands down either side of your foot. Inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Hands back to heart center and stepping back. Okay. Next one, we're going to do a movement where we have our feet nice and wide on the mat. We're going to inhale and raise our arms up. And exhale, folding forward. Bringing our hands either to our shins or down onto the mat. And taking our feet out a little wider. And relaxing forward into this position. Taking 3 long breaths here. Getting that nice stretch through the lower back and through the legs. And then taking our body to the left side. And feeling that stretch. Turning the left foot, facing that forward. Feeling the knee come all the way up. And inhaling and folding forward. With 3 more breaths here. And taking your hands to the right side, bringing that right foot and feeling that stretch. And inhale, coming all the way up, back to heart center and bring your feet back to the ground. Okay. We're going to go down onto the floor now into a bridge pose. So feet flat on the mat, knees bent, and coming down into your back on the floor and bring your feet a little bit closer to your buttocks. As you lift up, you can bring your hands underneath your back and clasp them together and lift your shoulders up a little higher. And we're going to hold this for about 5 breaths, or you can have your hands out to the side. Whatever feels right for your shoulders today. So taking 3 more long, deep breaths. And then slowly lowering your spine down to the mat. And hug your knees up to your chest. And do some rotations on your lumbar spine. And bring your feet back down to the mat. We're going to go into a little twist, taking your arms out to the side, straight out from your shoulders. We're going to drop our knees towards the right side and look towards the left. So inhale and then exhaling, dropping our knees across. Feeling that nice stretch through the chest and also through the side. Inhaling back to the center, bringing your knees back to the center and gazing up towards the ceiling. Exhale to the other side. And then coming up to the center. And we're going to bring our right foot in front of our left thigh. So our leg is across our other leg. And we're going to lift the leg up and bring that forward, hugging that into the chest, releasing through the glutes. Just hugging that in, taking a few deep breaths. Then we're going to go into a deep stretch where we keep that leg across and we take the knee across and look to the other side, letting that stay there and feeling that lovely stretch for 3 breaths. You can put your hand on your knee and bring that towards the ground a little bit more for a little bit more of a stretch. Bringing the knees back up to center and swapping your legs over. Hugging the knee to your chest, releasing through the glute area. And then taking the knee across to the other side, bringing the foot to the floor. And looking in the other direction. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. And feeling that nice stretch through the side of the body and through the chest. And 2 more breaths. Find its inhalation, coming back to the center, laying on your back with your both feet on the ground and hugging knees up to your chest. As you exhale, inhale as you take your knees away from the chest and exhaling. Dropping our feet to the floor. We're going to inhale as we lift our feet and our arms up towards the ceiling. So inhaling, lifting up, and exhaling, slowly bring them back down, just with a bent knee. We're going to do 5 more rounds of this one. Nice and slow, wrapping the movement around your breath. We've got 2 more rounds to go. Trying to flattening out that lower back. And last round. And hugging the knees in. And you can go into a happy baby pose where you can reach through to your feet or your shins and just rolling around, seeing how that feels on your lower back. Just giving yourself a massage. We're going to rest into Savasana next. So laying down with your back on the ground, your legs out flat and your palms facing up towards the ceiling, making yourself nice and comfortable. So laying into Savasana for a rest. So laying down into Savasana. That's it. Taking some deep breaths here. Noticing how your body is feeling. We're going to stay here for 5 minutes. So making yourself nice and comfortable, making sure you're warm enough. You may need to put a jacket on or wrap yourself in a blanket. As you're resting here, feel the energy from your practice and integrate the energy into your body. Enjoying the soft sounds as you rest. Noticing your natural breath. And bring your attention back into the room. Noticing the sounds in the room and the sounds outside of the room. Noticing the floor against your back and noticing the windows and the ceiling. Gently rolling to your left side, taking a few breaths on the left. And when you're ready, pushing up into a comfortable seated position. Okay. We're going to do some pranayama breathing, and the purpose of that is around steadiness and around relaxation and around energy. So can everybody hear me? Just thumbs up if you can hear me. Excellent, good. So with the pranayama breathing, we're doing alternate nostril breathing. So we're going to take our two fingers, our forefinger and our middle finger, and we're going to place them on our forehead near our third eye. And we're going to use our thumb and our ring finger on our nostrils. So I'll guide you through the practice, and then I'll get you to do a couple of rounds on your own. So we're going to start off with putting our hands on our forehead and our thumb and our ring finger next to our left and right nostril. So we're going to take one big breath in and one big breath out, and then placing your thumb on your right nostril, breathing in through the left nostril, and then covering the left nostril. Breathe in, breathe out through the right nostril. Then breathe in through the right, covering that nostril with your thumb, and out through the left. In through the left, covering the left nostril, and out through the right. So that's one round. And then in through the right, covering that, and out through the left. In through the left, covering the left, and out through the right. That's 2 rounds. One more round together. In through the right, covering the right, out through the left. Then breathe in through the left nostril, covering the left, and out through the right. That's 3 rounds. I'd like you to do 2 more rounds in your own time, in your own breath. No need to rush. I invite you to close your eyes as you do it and really feel through that breath. Feel the calming and relaxing of it. And when you finish your 2 rounds, taking it through a few deep breaths in and then blow it out. Breathing in. And on. Very good for cleansing the lungs. To finish our practice, we're going to take a big breath in and breathe out any negative energy that is left. And then we're going to do another breath in, and on the outward breath, say Om, either together or just internally. It's your choice, you don't have to do it. So we're going to breathe in. And one more breathing in. And Om. Bringing our hands together to heart center.